company. Hi, this is Dr. Clement Chiang, founder of Spiking, the world's only software that tracks insider trading. Now, before making any investment, you need some form of knowledge about a company when you have the money. As a result, there are two camps of investors today. The first camp, known as the fundamental analysis, focuses on chasing and analyzing financial news, joining the dots themselves. The second camp, known as the technical analysis, heavily relies on technical indicators and formulas to analyze the charts. Whether it's technical or fundamental, both are effective, but it involves a lot of analysis and hard work. Then the epiphany moment came when I figured out that I should write on others' analysis instead. Not anyone's analysis, but one who has already completed their analysis work regarding the targeted stock. So I say, why don't I go and chase after the insiders of the market? Regardless of what they do, whether they are from the technical or fundamental camp, that doesn't matter anymore. At the end of the day, these insiders put millions or even billions on the table to enter the trade. For someone to put this much money, he must be backed by an elite group of armies who can interpret the financial news, analyze the charts, dissect the financial market, and so on. After that, these elites will go check, 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 confirm boss, put money in, 100 million, trade done, entered. Regardless of their investment belief that money represents due diligence. Then I'll simply ride on their resources by following their tricks. That's how our stand on the shoulders of giants came about, giving birth to the software Spiking. Perhaps you have been trying to analyze the financial news yourself, or been trying many different technical indicators to predict the stock prices, but still ended up with trading losses. That shouldn't be the case. Having helped over 50,000 traders globally, we believe that ultimately profitable trading boils down to two things. Number one, the ability to track insiders in real time and using this first-hand info to your advantage. Like some of our students here,
The data from the spiking software helps me to make my trade more accurate and helps me to analyze my trades before I place my trades. Gives me more confidence as well.
Information from the Spiking Insider has given that additional edge that I have in terms of information to know, who are the ones that is also invested in that company. So that gives me a lot of confidence, and I know what I'm doing.
The insider info has been very useful. It gives me the idea of when to actually trade and when I should follow the whale, and I could actually make profit quite easily.
this way you maximize your success rate and save yourself from having analysis paralysis and breaking your bank. Our Spiking software not only creates transparency in the insider's world of trading, but also helps any trader to profit the most within the least amount of time. These are what our students have experienced.
So to profit from my trading between 5 to 100%, I'm proud to say I have. In fact, sometimes it can be as fast as minutes. So between minutes to months, of course. Yeah. So of course, there will be times that is longer, but there are times that is actually faster. Yeah.
I have profited 5 to 100% in one day, especially during the year of 2021 when I was still in the coaching program. Forward to that, I have also continued with the education, and along the way also have many such profit, 5 to 100% in one day.
I profited close to 5% and the max was at 83% through this 1 year that I've been using the software. There are more than hundreds of trades that I've done throughout the entire year, and realized a single loss yet.
I have actually profited 5 to 100% in my trading based on the spiking platform, and actually I tried getting that amount within a day.
Perhaps it's time for you to break out of the conventional way of trading stocks and leverage this powerful software and our insider trading blueprint. If you want to make 5 to 100% trading profit, not just each day, but also consistently, you can click anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today. But don't just take our words for it. Hear what our students have to say after joining our Spiking Wealth community.
It's a privilege to be part of the Spiking community because you actually grow together, trade together, and go through the ups and downs together. Actually, we all support each other through the community. Although we don't see each other, but we know we are there for each other.
How I've benefited from being part of the community is really through the regular interaction and attending the sessions that Teacher Clement would be sharing. A lot about the analysis of the markets, the economy, and the different companies. So, and as well as the ability and the chance to ask questions, and to ask, really to clarify things that I do not quite understand.
I enjoy the closeness of the community, and especially under the guidance of Dr. Chiang. He has been updating us of all the latest information and keep us in the close-knit community.
Benefiting from the whole Spiking community is that you are in the know. From a finance background, I already have a bit of knowledge, but with Dr. Clement's input, it just makes everything stronger and more accurate. Helps a lot as well in my work as well.
I hope you have gained some insights from this video. Whatever experience you have in trading, whether you're a beginner or experienced one, don't give up on profiting from the stock market. It is one of the best money-making platforms that you can leverage to boost your earnings as long as you are trading with the right approach. You can submit your application by clicking anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today while slots last. The best way to make 5 to 100% trading profit per day when it comes to stocks is to literally copy the trades of insiders. And when I say insiders, I'm talking about board of directors, management team of a public listed company. Hi, this is Dr. Clement Chiang, founder of Spiking, the world's only software that tracks insider trading. Now, before making any investment, you need some form of knowledge about a company when you have the money. As a result, there are two camps of investors today. The first camp, known as the fundamental analysis, focuses on chasing and analyzing financial news, joining the dots themselves. The second camp, known as the technical analysis, heavily relies on technical indicators and formulas to analyze the charts. Whether it's technical or fundamental, both are effective, but it involves a lot of analysis and hard work. Then the epiphany moment came when I figured out that I should write on others' analysis instead. Not anyone's analysis, but one who has already completed their analysis work regarding the targeted stock. So I say, why don't I go and chase after the insiders of the market? Regardless of what they do, whether they are from the technical or fundamental camp, that doesn't matter anymore. At the end of the day, these insiders put millions or even billions on the table to enter the trade. For someone to put this much money, he must be backed by an elite group of armies who can interpret the financial news, analyze the charts, dissect the financial market, and so on. After that, these elites will go check, 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 Confirm boss, put money in, 100 million, trade done, entered. Regardless of their investment belief that money represents due diligence. Then I'll simply ride on their resources by following their tricks. That's how our stand on the shoulders of giants came about, giving birth to the software spiking. Perhaps you have been trying to analyze the financial news yourself, or been trying many different technical indicators to predict the stock prices, but still ended up with trading losses. That shouldn't be the case. Having helped over 50,000 traders globally, we believe that ultimately profitable trading boils down to two things. Number one, the ability to track insiders in real time and using this first-hand info to your advantage. Like some of our students here,
The data from the spiking software helps me to make my trade more accurate and helps me to analyze my trades before I place my trades. Gives me more confidence as well.
Information from the spiking insider has given that additional edge that I have in terms of information to know, who are the ones that is also invested in that company. So that gives me a lot of confidence, and I know what I'm doing.
The insider info has been very useful. It gives me the idea of when to actually trade and when I should follow the whale, and I could actually make profit quite easily.
this way you maximize your success rate and save yourself from having analysis paralysis and breaking your bank. Our spiking software not only creates transparency in the insider's world of trading, but also helps any trader to profit the most within the least amount of time. These are what our students have experienced.
So to profit from my trading between 5 to 100%, I'm proud to say I have. In fact, sometimes it can be as fast as minutes. So between minutes to months, of course. Yeah. So of course, there will be times that is longer, but there are times that is actually faster. Yeah.
I have profited 5 to 100% in one day, especially during the year of 2021 when I was still in the coaching program. Forward to that, I have also continued with the education, and along the way also have many such profit, 5 to 100% in one day.
I have profited close to 5%, and the max was at 83% through this 1 year that I've been using the software. There are more than hundreds of trades that I've done throughout the entire year, and I've not realized a single loss yet.
I have actually profited 5 to 100% in my trading based on the spiking platform, and I actually tried getting that amount within a day.
Perhaps it's time for you to break out of the conventional way of trading stocks and leverage this powerful software and our insider trading blueprint. If you want to make 5 to 100% trading profit, not just each day, but also consistently, you can click anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today. But don't just take our words for it. Hear what our students have to say after joining our Spiking Wealth community.
It's a privilege to be part of the spiking community because you actually grow together, trade together, and go through the ups and downs together. Actually, we all support each other through the community. Although we don't see each other, but we know we are there for each other.
How I've benefited from being part of the community is really through the regular interaction and attending the sessions that Teacher Clement would be sharing. A lot about the analysis of the markets, the economy, and the different companies. So, and as well as the ability and chance to ask questions, and to ask, really to clarify things that I do not quite understand.
I enjoy the closeness of the community, and especially under the guidance of Dr. Chiang. He has been updating us of all the latest information and keep us in the close-knit community.
Benefiting from the whole spiking community is that you are in the know. From a finance background, I already have a bit of knowledge, but with Dr. Clement's input, it just makes everything stronger and more accurate. Helps a lot as well in my work as well.
I hope you have gained some insights from this video. Whatever experience you have in trading, whether you are a beginner or experienced one, don't give up on profiting from the stock market. It is one of the best money-making platform that you can leverage to boost your earnings as long as you are trading with the right approach. You can submit your application by clicking anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today while slots last. The best way to make 5 to 100% trading profit per day when it comes to stocks is to literally copy the trades of insiders. And when I say insiders, I'm talking about board of directors, management team of a public listed company. Hi, this is Dr. Clement Chiang, founder of Spiking, the world's only software that tracks insider trading. Now, before making any investment, you need some form of knowledge about a company when you have the money. As a result, there are two camps of investors today. The first camp, known as the fundamental analysis, focuses on chasing and analyzing financial news, joining the dots themselves. The second camp, known as the technical analysis, heavily relies on technical indicators and formulas to analyze the charts. Whether it's technical or fundamental, both are effective, but it involves a lot of analysis and hard work. Then the epiphany moment came when I figured out that I should write on others' analysis instead. Not anyone's analysis, but one who has already completed their analysis work regarding the targeted stock. So I say, why don't I go and chase after the insiders of the market? Regardless of what they do, whether they are from the technical or fundamental camp, that doesn't matter anymore. At the end of the day, these insiders put millions or even billions on the table to enter the trade. For someone to put this much money, he must be backed by an elite group of armies who can interpret the financial news, analyze the charts, dissect the financial market, and so on. After that, these elites will go check, 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 confirm boss, put money in, 100 million, trade done, entered. Regardless of their investment belief that money represents due diligence. Then I'll simply ride on their resources by following their tricks. That's how our stand on the shoulders of giants came about, giving birth to the software Spiking. Perhaps you have been trying to analyze the financial news yourself, or been trying many different technical indicators to predict the stock prices, but still ended up with trading losses. That shouldn't be the case. Having helped over 50,000 traders globally, we believe that ultimately profitable trading boils down to two things. Number one, the ability to track insiders in real time and using this first-hand info to your advantage. Like some of our students here,
The data from the Spiking software helps me to make my trade more accurate and helps me to analyze my trades before I place my trades. Gives me more confidence as well.
Information from the Spiking Insider has given that additional edge that I have in terms of information to know, who are the ones that is also invested in that company. So that gives me a lot of confidence, and I know what I'm doing.
The insider info has been very useful. It gives me the idea of when to actually trade and when I should follow the whale, and I could actually make profit quite easily.
this way you maximize your success rate and save yourself from having analysis paralysis and breaking your bank. Our Spiking software not only creates transparency in the insider's world of trading, but also helps any trader to profit the most within the least amount of time. These are what our students have experienced.
So to profit from my trading between 5 to 100%, I'm proud to say I have. In fact, sometimes it can be as fast as minutes. So between minutes to months, of course. Yeah. So of course, there will be times that is longer, but there are times that is actually faster. Yeah.
I have profited 5 to 100% in one day, especially during the year of 2021 when I was still in the coaching program. Forward to that, I have also continued with the education, and along the way also have many such profit 5 to 100% in one day.
I've profited close to 5%, and the max was at 83% through this 1 year that I've been using the software. There are more than hundreds of trades that I've done throughout the entire year, and I've not realized a single loss yet.
I have actually profited 5 to 100% in my trading based on the spiking platform, and actually I tried getting that amount within a day.
Perhaps it's time for you to break out of the conventional way of trading stocks and leverage this powerful software and our insider trading blueprint. If you want to make 5 to 100% trading profit, not just each day, but also consistently, you can click anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today. But don't just take our words for it. Hear what our students have to say after joining our Spiking Wealth community.
It's a privilege to be part of the Spiking community because you actually grow together, trade together, and go through the ups and downs together. Actually, we all support each other through the community. Although we don't see each other, but we know we are there for each other.
How I've benefited from being part of the community is really through the regular interaction and attending the sessions that Teacher Clement would be sharing. A lot about the analysis of the markets, the economy, and the different companies. So, and as well as the ability and the chance to ask questions, and to ask, really to clarify things that I do not quite understand.
I enjoy the closeness of the community, and especially under the guidance of Dr. Chiang. He has been updating us of all the latest information and keep us in the close-knit community.
Benefiting from the whole Spiking community is that you are in the know. From a finance background, I already have a bit of knowledge, but with Dr. Clement's input, it just makes everything stronger and more accurate. Helps a lot as well in my work as well.
I hope you have gained some insights from this video. Whatever experience you have in trading, whether you are a beginner or experienced one, don't give up on profiting from the stock market. It is one of the best money-making platforms that you can leverage to boost your earnings as long as you are trading with the right approach. You can submit your application by clicking anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today while slots last. The best way to make 5 to 100% trading profit per day when it comes to stocks is to literally copy the trades of insiders. And when I say insiders, I'm talking about board of directors, management team of a public listed company. Hi, this is Dr. Clement Chiang, founder of Spiking, the world's only software that tracks insider trading. Now, before making any investment, you need some form of knowledge about a company when you have the money. As a result, there are two camps of investors today. The first camp, known as the fundamental analysis, focuses on chasing and analyzing financial news, joining the dots themselves. The second camp, known as the technical analysis, heavily relies on technical indicators and formulas to analyze the charts. Whether it's technical or fundamental, both are effective. But it involves a lot of analysis and hard work. Then the epiphany moment came when I figured out that I should write on others' analysis instead. Not anyone's analysis, but one who has already completed their analysis work regarding the targeted stock. So I say, why don't I go and chase after the insiders of the market? Regardless of what they do, whether they are from the technical or fundamental camp, that doesn't matter anymore. At the end of the day, these insiders put millions or even billions on the table to enter the trade. For someone to put this much money, he must be backed by an elite group of armies who can interpret the financial news, analyze the charts, dissect the financial market, and so on. After that, these elites will go check, 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 confirm boss, put money in, 100 million, trade done, entered. Regardless of their investment belief that money represents due diligence. Then I'll simply ride on their resources by following their tricks. That's how our stand on the shoulders of giants came about, giving birth to the software spiking. Perhaps you have been trying to analyze the financial news yourself, or been trying many different technical indicators to predict the stock prices, but still ended up with trading losses. That shouldn't be the case. Having helped over 50,000 traders globally, we believe that ultimately profitable trading boils down to two things. Number one, the ability to track insiders in real time and using this first-hand info to your advantage. Like some of our students here,
The data from the spiking software helps me to make my trade more accurate and helps me to analyze my trades before I place my trades. Gives me more confidence as well.
Information from the spiking insider has given that additional edge that I have in terms of information to know, who are the ones that is also invested in that company. So that gives me a lot of confidence, and I know what I'm doing.
The insider info has been very useful. It gives me the idea of when to actually trade and when I should follow the whale, and I could actually make profit quite easily.
this way you maximize your success rate and save yourself from having analysis paralysis and breaking your bank. Our spiking software not only creates transparency in the insider's world of trading, but also helps any trader to profit the most within the least amount of time. These are what our students have experienced.
So to profit from my trading between 5 to 100%, I'm proud to say I have. In fact, sometimes it can be as fast as minutes. So between minutes to months, of course. Yeah. So of course, there will be times that is longer, but there are times that is actually faster. Yeah.
I have profited 5 to 100% in one day, especially during the year of 2021 when I was still in the coaching program. Forward to that, I have also continued with the education, and along the way also have many such profit 5 to 100% in one day.
I have profited close to 5%, and the max was at 83% through this 1 year that I've been using the software. There are more than hundreds of trades that I've done throughout the entire year, and I've not realized a single loss yet.
I have actually profited 5 to 100% in my trading based on the spiking platform, and actually I tried getting that amount within a day.
Perhaps it's time for you to break out of the conventional way of trading stocks and leverage this powerful software and our insider trading blueprint. If you want to make 5 to 100% trading profit, not just each day, but also consistently, you can click anywhere around this video to get connected with spiking today. But don't just take our words for it. Hear what our students have to say after joining our spiking wealth community.
It's a privilege to be part of the spiking community because you actually grow together, trade together, and go through the ups and downs together. Actually, we all support each other through the community. Although we don't see each other, but we know we are there for each other.
How I've benefited from being part of the community is really through the regular interaction and attending the sessions that Teacher Clement would be sharing. A lot about the analysis of the markets, the economy, and the different companies. So, and as well as the ability and the chance to ask questions, and to ask, really to clarify things that I do not quite understand.
I enjoy the closeness of the community, and especially under the guidance of Dr. Chiang. He has been updating us of all the latest information and keep us in the close-knit community.
Benefiting from the whole spiking community is that you are in the know. From a finance background, I already have a bit of knowledge, but with Dr. Clement's input, it just makes everything stronger and more accurate. Helps a lot as well in my work as well.
I hope you have gained some insights from this video. Whatever experience you have in trading, whether you're a beginner or experienced one, don't give up on profiting from the stock market. It is one of the best money-making platforms that you can leverage to boost your earnings as long as you are trading with the right approach. You can submit your application by clicking anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today while slots last. The best way to make 5 to 100% trading profit per day when it comes to stocks is to literally copy the trades of insiders. And when I say insiders, I'm talking about board of directors, management team of a public listed company. Hi, this is Dr. Clement Chiang, founder of Spiking, the world's only software that tracks insider trading. Now, before making any investment, you need some form of knowledge about a company when you have the money. As a result, there are two camps of investors today. The first camp, known as the fundamental analysis, focuses on chasing and analyzing financial news, joining the dots themselves. The second camp, known as the technical analysis, heavily relies on technical indicators and formulas to analyze the charts. Whether it's technical or fundamental, both are effective, but it involves a lot of analysis and hard work. Then the epiphany moment came when I figured out that I should write on others' analysis instead. Not anyone's analysis, but one who has already completed their analysis work regarding the targeted stock. So I say, why don't I go and chase after the insiders of the market? Regardless of what they do, whether they are from the technical or fundamental camp, that doesn't matter anymore. At the end of the day, these insiders put millions or even billions on the table to enter the trade. For someone to put this much money, he must be backed by an elite group of armies who can interpret the financial news, analyze the charts, dissect the financial market, and so on. After that, these elites will go check, 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 confirm boss, put money in, 100 million, trade done, entered. Regardless of their investment belief that money represents due diligence. Then I'll simply ride on their resources by following their tricks. That's how our stand on the shoulders of giants came about, giving birth to the software Spiking. Perhaps you have been trying to analyze the financial news yourself, or been trying many different technical indicators to predict the stock prices, but still ended up with trading losses. That shouldn't be the case. Having helped over 50,000 traders globally, we believe that ultimately profitable trading boils down to two things. Number one, the ability to track insiders in real time and using this first-hand info to your advantage. Like some of our students here,
The data from the spiking software helps me to make my trade more accurate and helps me to analyze my trades before I place my trades. Gives me more confidence as well.
Information from the Spiking Insider has given that additional edge that I have in terms of information to know, who are the ones that is also invested in that company. So that gives me a lot of confidence, and I know what I'm doing.
The insider info has been very useful. It gives me the idea of when to actually trade and when I should follow the whale, and I could actually make profit quite easily.
this way you maximize your success rate and save yourself from having analysis paralysis and breaking your bank. Our spiking software not only creates transparency in the insider's world of trading, but also helps any trader to profit the most within the least amount of time. These are what our students have experienced.
So to profit from my trading between 5 to 100%, I'm proud to say I have. In fact, sometimes it can be as fast as minutes. So between minutes to months, of course. Yeah. So of course, there will be times that is longer, but there are times that is actually faster. Yeah.
I have profited 5 to 100% in one day, especially during the year of 2021 when I was still in the coaching program. Forward to that, I have also continued with the education, and along the way also have many such profit 5 to 100% in one day.
I profited close to 5%, and the max was at 83% through this 1 year that I've been using the software. There are more than hundreds of trades that I've done throughout the entire year, and I've not realized a single loss yet.
I have actually profited 5 to 100% in my trading based on the spiking platform, and actually I tried getting that amount within a day.
Perhaps it's time for you to break out of the conventional way of trading stocks and leverage this powerful software and our insider trading blueprint. If you want to make 5 to 100% trading profit, not just each day, but also consistently, you can click anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today. But don't just take our words for it. Hear what our students have to say after joining our Spiking Wealth community.
It's a privilege to be part of the spiking community because you actually grow together, trade together, and go through the ups and downs together. Actually, we all support each other through the community. Although we don't see each other, but we know we are there for each other.
How I've benefited from being part of the community is really through the regular interaction and attending the sessions that Teacher Clement would be sharing. A lot about the analysis of the markets, the economy, and the different companies. So, and as well as the ability and chance to ask questions, and to ask, really to clarify things that I do not quite understand.
I enjoy the closeness of the community, and especially under the guidance of Dr. Chiang. He has been updating us of all the latest information and keep us.
Wow, wow, wow. Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to watch the video earlier on. And right now, this is live. I'm really excited to meet all of you here today, and I know there's many more coming on stream later on. Yes, really privileged to be sharing with you my passion into the world of investing and trading. And today kind of a bit special for me because early in the morning, got to send my son to the hospital for an operation, and I think he just came out of it really fine, and that's the reason why I can be here cheerfully sharing with you. I'm really excited to meet all of you here today because why? We are living in a very volatile market, and more importantly, as I address the topic of investing, which is really fascinating. I've been doing this since the start of the year 2000. And if you guys remember, 2000 was the dot-com crash. And right after that, we have 9/11. Right after that, we have invasion of Iraq. Right after that, we had the financial crisis in 2008. Right after that, we had the pandemic crash in 2020. And right now, we kind of have all kinds of issues facing us at one single moment in time. And this is like mind-boggling. So is this right for you? And is this worthwhile for you to chase your holy grail and to pursue your financial freedom? And that's what we want to discover right here today. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my main slides at this moment. And here we go. As you can see just now in the earlier videos, I have my students sharing their testimonies, and we are really chasing after this concept of a profit 5 to 100% in one day. Now, is this really, really real? Or you think this kind of some kind of myth and you are kind of bewildered? Let's really go into deeper details to how do we discover a profit of 5 to 100% in just one day. So here we go. My name is Clement Chiang, and my students call me teacher. I really very, very passionate about sharing with you about my world of investing and trading. And that's the reason why I take it upon myself a very high obligation or accountability to you. Because over here, I just want to start off with this 4 words. How can I help? And today I'm going to put on the role of a teacher, really coming in just to understand how can I help you. And perhaps you have struggled in your finances, perhaps you have never even started in the journey of investing or trading, and perhaps only today you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I got to start earning an alternative income or a secondary stream of cash flow because something has happened to you. Now, this is where life has its surprises. Earlier on, when I posted out on Facebook, I had a picture of my son lying on the hospital bed, and many friends are just concerned and asking me, hey, what happened? And my reply to that question, what happened, is very simple. Life has its mysteries. You just really can't anticipate when it's the next emergency, where's the next crisis popping up, and kind of every one of us go through, but never really dive deeper to understand how can having additional financial income or cash flow can kind of help you ease through this period of uncertainty. Whenever I have my loved ones falling sick, the first approach I always take on is, where's the best doctor? Where's the best clinic? And then from clinic, you upgrade to where's the best hospital? And, I've been blessed because I can ask such questions, but many people out there will always ask, how can I avoid going to see a doctor? Because doctors are expensive. How can I avoid enrolling into a hospital? Because staying in a hospital is expensive. You see, 2 contrasting views. But what really matters most to us, our loved ones, right? So if I kind of switch back over here and you see, if I teach you from the heart of a teacher, then this is the benchmark I set. Everything that we are doing right here today is about for our loved ones, about a better future, for our children, for our parents, for our grandchildren that not birth yet, for our family members, right? So I want to take on this approach and then go through with you the journey of discovery. Here we go. Right in front of you, I also don't take for granted. Every time I take on a class, I will always give my best. And, I'm very, very blessed. These are coming from our very, very own students, and kind of very, very blessed to receive over like 2,000 verified reviews. And I just want to read out to you some of them, like, great help to investors in understanding current market volatility. Dr. Clement's insightful research opened up our eyes and calm our minds in trading. Good sharing and updates by Dr. Clement of the market. You guys are excellent, one of a kind. And we don't take for granted. And I want to raise the bar. One of the reasons why I'm doing this live right now, and this is really streaming across all of our social media platforms from YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We are going out there live. Because why? if I can raise the bar of imparting good knowledge to you and you get a good grasp of the market today, you don't waste time watching ads anymore. And again, every now and then we are bombarded with so many ideas, so many distractions, we can't really have clarity in our mind. So what I want to set out to do today is to set up a high bar. What do I mean by a high bar? A high bar to say, hey, I want to have very good clarity of understanding what exactly is wealth. I want to start off with this word wealth. Even as I mention this word wealth, some people start to get uncomfortable. Teacher, you know what? I don't really need to be rich. I don't really need to be wealthy. How many of you come across friends like this, or colleagues, or neighbors, or relatives, or mother-in-laws? Right? And they say, I don't need to be wealthy. I say, And in my mind, I was thinking looks like your life is rosy, straight line, linear. Nothing bad has ever happened to you. But I go, wait till a crisis hits you. Just the last 2 weeks alone, I got involved in the hedge fund industry, private equity, fund managers, and I get insider information just the last 2 weeks alone. How many of you are aware of the fact that many people have to file for bankruptcy? And it all started with the mother of all bankruptcy, and that's FTX.com. And that kind of spiraled down, and those who borrowed and invest and trade on leverage, they are facing the banks right now. I got friends who lost Rolls-Royce Bentley. I got friends who lost 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million in the crypto market because they are on leverage. And that's the reason why I want to set a high bar on the foundation of wealth. What exactly is wealth? How come you are hearing all these stories out there of people losing their pants off, go into bankruptcy, lost their house, lost their cars? Why are you hearing all these messages bombarding you? Because the answer lies in this 4-letter word. It is called cozy. And with this background information, as I share with you about an understanding of the word cozy, I hope you gain and attain enlightenment. Here we go. In the World of Wealth trilogy, and I like to use the word trilogy because I believe there are 3 things that kind of set up the foundation of our wealth. The first one is what I call cryptos. Now, this is really hot on the headlines across the world. The past 1 week. It's like the total cryptos market kind of imploded, crashed, and many people lost money. I'm going to address this topic. The second one is what we call options. And options really just started in 1973. You have a Nobel Prize winning formula called a Black-Scholes formula, and this is truly the instrument that I fell in love when I first started investing and trading. The third one is called stocks. I mean, this is like a proven instrument over the last 200 years. And finally, the last word I want to share with you is called yes. Yes, because we need to have a solid, firm foundation in all 3 instruments. Not just one, not just 2, but 3 of them. And I'm going to put forward to you my thesis for your consideration, all right? So here we go. This is what we call the generations that came before us. And I want to really take some time to address this because clearly tonight, every one of you who are watching at this moment, you are born in different eras. Some of you born 1946 to 64, we call you the baby boomers. And my children love to tease me, Papa, you are boomer. Boomer is used as a word to describe those kind of born in 46 and 64, and I'm not that old, by the way. The second one is called the Gen X. I belong to the Gen X. If you are born 1965 to 1980, congratulations, you are my peer group. We belong to Generation X. The third group is called the hot and fast and furious millennials, 1981 to 1996. I mean, this is the group that kind of imploded overnight. I'm going to give you more extensive sharing about this particular group. And some of you, I believe, who are watching at this moment, you belong to the millennial. And my children belong to Generation Z. We call them the Gen Z or the Zoomer generation. Those of your children born 1997 to 2012, they literally grow up watching Zoom. Now, I covered 4 generations here, and really the question is this: why is it so important to study about generation? And what has it got to do with money? You know, money is such a big topic because earlier on I shared with you about the wealth trilogy. And now I'm going to take you with a deeper insight, with clarity, so that you can begin to connect the dots and understand, oh, that's what happened. Oh, now I understand why there are people making money and why there are people losing money. Ready? Here we go. I kind of plot out the instrument to match exactly with the generation that they birthed from, and here we go. Baby boomers, majority of them are well invested in the stock market. This has always been the instrument of choice, kind of gone through many cycles, and they know over time stocks will appreciate and faster than the rate of inflation, and as a result, they can make money. This has always been the primary choice among the baby boomers. Now, if you look at that, and then you kind of move it to Gen X, the generation that I belong to, my generation, majority of us made our first pot of gold doing options trading. Because it has a leverage of 10 times. You make money faster 10 times, but it doesn't really mean you're going to lose money 10 times faster as well. We're going to touch a little bit of the details on this, and then we move on to the millennial. Now, the millennials, majority of them made their first pot of $1 million profit or wealth trading in cryptocurrency. You know, this is the part where if you trace back to the first all-time high of Bitcoin, that was in December 2017. Bitcoin hit like $20,000 per coin. To be exact, it's $19,000 per coin. And I seen with first eyes, first experience. Holy moly, these youngsters, they are like driving Lamborghinis. They're top to bottom dressed in Gucci. Some of them are like every night just burning cash, partying all night long. I say, what? What's happening here? And many of them, you know, found their wealth in the world of cryptocurrencies because they found it to be cool not to be trading something that their grandparents are trading, not to be trading something that their parents are trading. They are in a world of their own. That's the reason why main bulk of the millionaires out of cryptos belong to the millennials. But there's a problem here. Today, if you are just invested in cryptos and you don't have the foundation of stocks and options, this is exactly what happened last week. The market imploded. And they've forgotten the golden rules: thou shalt not borrow, thou shalt not leverage, and kind of get killed. I mean, this is very complicated. Even as I'm sharing with you right now, things begin to unfold. But what I'm really interested in is the Gen Z, my children generation. And I want to expound on this. Because the story of Gen Z goes this way. This is really important to me because I want to illustrate a story so that you begin to understand why is it important for us to look out for our children's generation. It's really utmost. This must be the utmost top priority that you need to observe how they live, work, and play, those among your children. Let me give you the story of Tim Draper. This is the man in July 2014. He's only just like one out of 45 different people bidding on the seized bitcoins from the Silk Road website. Now, back then, that was the big mega story of the day, 2014. All right. So in total, he paid $19 million for 29,657 bitcoins at the US Marshals Service auction. Now, you must remember, if you go back to 2014, I mean, Bitcoin is like, holy moly, most people never even heard about Bitcoin. And even if you heard about Bitcoin, you only heard the bad things about Bitcoin. You never hear the good things about the technology, about the decentralization, about the limited supply. You don't hear about such things. You hear every nasty things painted by the narratives of the mainstream media. But the question is this: what did Tim Draper see that gave him the courage to put in $90 million on the table and snap up all the available Bitcoin from the US Marshals Service auction? You know, I did a quick calculation on that. He paid average price of $640 per Bitcoin. All right. You know how much this went up to? It is 100 times return for him because Bitcoin went up to an all-time high of 64,000. You add 2 more zeros behind, and guess what? 19 million, add 2 more zeros behind, that's $1.9 billion. In a single move by Tim Draper, ladies and gentlemen, he became a billionaire betting on just one instrument called Bitcoin. Now, right now he's featured like everywhere. He's a poster boy for Bitcoin. And even as price dropped, he has really kind of liquidated a lot of his money, kind of accumulated his wealth, and is well known as a billionaire. But my challenge to all of us here tonight is this: what's the secret? What is the secret of having the courage, the conviction, that passion to chase after wealth in a good way? And I need to stress tonight, I want to teach you the good way, the high bar, the strong foundation that we must have to pursue wealth. Not to the dark side, to the good side, to the faithful side. Here we go. I took 2014 back then when Tim Draper made the decision, and I kind of minus off those born among the millennials, 1981 to 1996. Guess what? In 2014, those who are defined as a millennial, their ages between 18 to 33 years old. I mean, if I take an average of 18 to 33, that's the average age of 25 years old. So, here is the exciting part. At the point of his investment in 2014, he was observing the millennials, and the average median age is 25 years old. And he's thinking that this bunch of people, I call them the millennials, what would they live, work, and play and make money? He saw it. And that's the world of Bitcoin. He went in, he became a billionaire overnight. But I'm going to translate that context to our current present time now. And this is very relatable to me because 10 years from now, my eldest son would be 25 years old, which is exactly 10 years from today, right? And every day I'm observing him, who he hang out with, what kind of games he play, what kind of conversation they got involved in, because I want to know 10 years from now, this bunch of Gen Z, how would they live, work, and play and make their first pot of $1 million? I'm really excited about this. So when I share with you this, the question is this: do you wish to become your first generation of millionaires? Now, regardless of whether today you're a boomer, you're Gen X, you're millennial, or Gen Z, every one of us got an equal chance to spot the next instrument of wealth that will create the first generation of millionaires for those born in the Gen Z. That's my children's age. So when I ask you this question, I say, holy moly, some of you may not even dare to dream about becoming a millionaire or making your first million. And is it a too high bar in order to pursue, too high bar to cross? Might as well give up. And I want to talk to you as your teacher, not someone like talking down on you or trying to bullshit you, but just having a real conversation. You know, I'm in the market for like over 22 years right now, and oftentimes I meet lots of people. And generally, majority of the people, they don't dare to believe that they have an equal chance to become a millionaire. Much more like pursue, make their $1 million. So what most people would do, they go and take part in lottery. They buy the ticket every week or every month or every quarter and try to strike it rich. But I can tell you, those who strike it rich overnight, they will go bankrupt within 3 years. Majority of them. Statistics have been done so often about those who strike it rich overnight. Within 3 years, they'll lose everything. In fact, they'll go into bankruptcy. Why? Because they don't have the mindset to manage wealth. And that's the reason why tonight I want to go through with you painstakingly to understand what is the mindset, or I should call it the foundation of the wealth trilogy of millionaires. This is an important lesson. So bear with me. You know, I want to like take you through in a logical sequence, connecting the dots. I don't want to rush my slides. I don't want to rush your learning. I want to teach it as it is as your teacher. And hopefully you are humble enough to be my student, and let me present to you the wealth pyramid. You know, I was exposed to this idea when I was back then in a university, and you know, I was doing my undergraduate studies at Nanyang Technological University, practicing to be a civil engineer. And boy, I was kind of dumbfounded, you know, when I was sent to the industrial attachment. That is where, you know, halfway through your university program, they kind of matchmake you with private companies out there so that you get a first-hand view of the real work that you're going to do for the rest of your life. I went out there, kind of practiced like a civil engineer. I said, oh my gosh, this is not for me. I think it's very, very tough. Those of you who are civil engineers, every day under the hot sun, you have a whole bunch of workers to manage. Some of you enjoy it, like some of my classmates, but not for me. I say, wow, this is really, really tough work. And that's the point in time I got my epiphany moment. I say, I want to make money. I want to make big money, not small money. And I set for myself a high bar to cross. And I say, if I want to aim high, might as well aim for the highest. Let me tell you and show you what I mean by the highest. This is exactly the journey I went through, because on your left-hand side right here, it kind of tell you how much money you have in your bank today will determine which part of the pyramid you belong to. All right? And very clearly, as you move up the pyramid, at the very top, if you have more than $1 million in your bank account today, ladies and gentlemen, you belong to one of the 47 million adults in the world, which represents 0.9% of the population, and you are defined as a millionaire. Now that is a high bar to cross. That got me really excited. I was saying, ooh, you mean there's a metric to chase right now, there's a number to cross, and there's a finishing line. I loved such challenges. And back then, as a young man, you know, totally fearless, I wrote down, I shall become a millionaire by the age of 30 years old, and I even write there, US dollars. I want to have an international benchmark. And I wrote that down. And I say, this is worth pursuing. And, you know, looking back, I was so glad I was exposed to this idea when there's nothing holding me back. I was fearless. And how many of you know the concept of fearless? You know, as you grow older, you become a chicken. cowardice start to kick in, and you start to think about your family, your children. You start to think about many, many things that make you fearful, not fearless. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Now, I want to encourage you, you are not fearful. You are just being responsible. And you're perfectly fine. And for me back then, young, single, totally, the world is my oyster, I said to myself, I want to go all out. I want to become a millionaire. And I gave it my best. So tonight, the challenge is really a mindset shift. That, do you say, hey teacher, I give up. I think this is too high in order for me to cross. I don't wish to cross it. I just want to live life simple. Perfectly fine with me. Nothing wrong with that, because if you look at the pyramid, today if you have US $10,000 to 100,000, not too bad. You belong to the top 32.6% on planet Earth. But if you say that, hey teacher, I got less than $10,000 cash in my bank account, then you belong to the bottom of the 56.6% of the world's population. It is your choice. Now, in fact, you can also say to me, teacher, I don't even wish to compete. I'm living in my own world. I'm my little hermit. That kind of tough, because we are living in a socially connected world. Somehow you cannot run away from the fact that you have to compare with someone else out there, because you are living together. We are living together. Even if you want to avoid that, the moment you step out of your house, you see big cars, small cars driving past you. You step out of your house, you see small house, big house, tall house around you. You can't escape. But since this is a reality, might as well I challenge you tonight and see for yourself, is this worthwhile to pursue? And let's have an honest conversation and really engage each other in a positive way. So I'm going to start off this exercise like this, by asking you, what is your slogan of life? Whether you want to pursue wealth or you want to live a simple, normal life, no problem at all. There's no right answer. The right answer is what makes you happy. But I want to challenge you to think about the 4 words that's going to drive you. But kind of this exercise, kind of like impromptu, right? And I want to give you the framework to think about this. I'll be playing in front of you a video, and I kind of remove my face first. And this video, I hope, will spark certain thoughts in your mind, kind of give you a little nudge. And you don't have to rush to write these 4 words that represent the slogan of your life. Don't have to rush. You just watch and just kind of write down on a piece of paper, and encourage you. You can also write down in the live chat, live comments. We are live stream on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. Just write those places that you're watching me right now. What are the 4 words? And write it as I play you this video. So everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, here we go. hope you wrote down your 4 words to represent your life slogan. And yes, this video is about a watch. But I'm more inspired than anything by the slogan of this watch. Begin your own tradition. 4 words. And that drove me nuts. I say, wow, today I have the chance to create my own tradition. And I want to begin this tradition. I want to pass on the core values of this tradition. We started out with the word called wealth. Now, some people are not thinking about wealth because kind of their life is smooth and rosy until they meet with their first crisis. Then they realize, oh my gosh, I got to have money. I got to have money to buy time. I've got to have money to create the environment to pursue happiness. I got to have money so I don't have worry too much. Then they start working on it. Now for you, I do not know about your unique circumstances, but I do know one thing's for sure. Money may not buy you happiness, but money can definitely buy you time so that you can begin your own tradition. That is what's driving me to do this here today. So, I got really excited, but more importantly, this tradition for me represents the fact that I can become the top 1% that's defined as a millionaire in this world. And I'm very blessed. I hit my milestone when I was at the age of 30 years old. I say, wow, that's like fast money for me. I kind of did it. And I thank God every day. I say I'm very, very blessed that I can become a millionaire by the age of 30 years old. But, this journey is also kind of a reflection for me that I love to pursue studies. And I want to share with you all this journey I've taken in the pursuit of wealth. And it never stops, it never stops. What do I mean by that? I started off as a civil engineer, graduated from Nanyang Technological University here in Singapore. And then, once I finished it, I say, hey, what I'm really interested in is how to run a business, how to run a company. And I joined the MBA program of the University of Louisville. And, it is in this program I wrote my first business plan and I launched my first company. And then I move on to pursue my PhD at the University of Canberra because I say, hey, I want to begin my own tradition in my Chiang lineage, my Chiang family lineage. I want to be the first PhD holder. And I did it. I'm very, very proud of myself. But more importantly, I set a high bar of this tradition for my children. And today, it never stops. I'm still a student. Today, I'm a student at Harvard Business School. And next year, I'll graduate from the OPM program and become a lifetime alumni member of the Harvard Business School community. And over here, this is what hangs on my wall, the place where I work. And my children are, every time, they come to my room, they'll see this, they'll see my graduation photo and all that. But the one that really stands out for me is this really meaningful plaque called Pray. You see, I want to highlight this very beautiful plaque that's hanging on my wall behind me right here. And, you can even see it right here. Right here where my index is pointing, there's a little bit blur out because the camera is focused on my face. It's hanging right there. What do I mean by pray? I want to give you this journey and the journey of the 4-letter words. I thought through how I connect different 4-letter words. First is every one of us start off by this journey of we say we want to make money. And that started for me as well. I say I want to make my first million, right? So after I make my first million, then I go on to the second 4-letter word. I say, since I've attained it, I want to give money. And boy, back then I was really fast and furious. I say, among my friends who are millionaires, how many of them will be willing to give away $1 million? And I set that as a challenge to myself, and true enough, I did give away $1 million. As crazy as it sounds, but there was a calling in my life at a season. I say I need to give away this $1 million to help my church. So I make and I give. And then the next 4-letter words is, along the way, as you kind of accumulate your wealth, do you lose money? I also went through the journey of losing money. So LOSE is a 4-letter word. Do I lose money? Yes, I've lost millions also before. I make millions before, and I give millions before. Kind of like a cycle, right? So you make, give, you lose, and then you make again. So when you go through this journey with me, I'm painting to you a life that's not linear and straight line. Life has its mysteries. But I thank God, every time I go through a journey, even go through the valley of the shadow of death, I thank God and I praise God. And that's the reason why I believe this word pray is the most powerful 4-letter word on planet Earth that is not utilized by many people. So I make, give, lose, pray, and there are many other positive 4-letter words. But the most powerful of them all is pray. Why am I sharing this with you? It's because all through my life, finally I hit this very important season of my life where I want to bless everyone out there with the collection of my knowledge and wisdom accumulated over 20 years. Next year I'll be launching this book, and really, really excited. I was able to get the support from my community. Many of my students already pre-ordered the book, and those who pre-ordered the book, their names will be appearing in my book. And I'm finishing the final touches of the manuscript, battling with my book editor and all that. But next year I'll be contributing to the world with my years of knowledge in investing through the launch of this book. At the same time, I also, like a very fervent believer of investing in great companies, investing in tools that help us lead a better life. And I think this is one of my most passionate investment, taking part in the movement of electric vehicle. And I want to show this car because I think I'm among the pioneers in Singapore, because in 2016, I've already placed the order to buy a Tesla. Think about it, 2016, with money, not just talk. So by the time Elon Musk was able to ship a Tesla out to Singapore in 2021, I was among the first 3 in the country to collect this car. That kind of complete the cycle for me. I put my money into the places I believe in, and over time, you sow the seed and you reap a bountiful harvest. That is the journey of wealth. Many, many interesting stories to share with you. And tonight, I want to touch on the most important topic, and that is the topic of crisis or opportunity. Now, this is really made famous by Chinese, because in the Chinese word, we call it 危机. There's 危 means crisis, 机 means opportunity. So in every single circumstances in life, I kind of use the word life is full of mysteries. You either look at it as a crisis, or you kind of embrace it as an opportunity. Let me show you what we are really going through this moment in time in our life, especially for this year, 2022. Here we go. This is the season where we face the 8 most toughest, I call it the toughest, most volatile 8 I's of our life. It all kind of started with the alphabet I. You have inflation, you have interest rate, and then you have invasion, you have isolation, you have inversion, you have implosion, and then you have ICBM. And then the question that we ask ourselves is, are we still in love? and when I put out the thinking behind the 8 I's, and I hope to publish an article on this to one of the one of the top media outlets, and I think, I'm submitting my article to the editor. But let me share with you firsthand, right? What exactly do we mean when we talk about crisis versus opportunity? Here we go. The first crisis or opportunity, depends on how you see it, is that inflation is really at its historical high today. All right? In fact, even though it has dropped to 7.7 according to the latest CPI data, but this is still a historic high. Now, this will cause many people to have the ability to buy more goods and services. What does inflation mean? Many students ask teacher, can you explain the simplest word or articulation? What does it mean to have inflation? Let me tell you this. Inflation simply means that with the same $100 cash bill that you have today, you're going to buy lesser and lesser amount of goods and services. Think about a can of Coca-Cola, which most consumers are not aware of. Are you aware of the fact that you still pay for the same dollar for the same can of Coca-Cola, but they have reduced the size significantly? Same dollar that you paid for a can of Coke, but they have reduced the size so that they bring down their cost. That's one way of looking at it. And you're going to be able to afford lesser and lesser amount of goods and services with the same amount of cash. That is the definition of inflation. Now, the consequence of inflation is that the government will attempt to bring down prices by introducing, or what they call, by hiking interest rate. This month the market kind of go really hanky-wonky because they have raised the 4th consecutive interest rate hike of 75 basis points. That's 0.75%. And today the interest rate is standing at 3.75%. Now this is the Fed fund rate. At a Fed fund rate of 3.75%, you can just go roughly at about 4%. It means that you are paying about 4.7, if you add 3.75 and you add a 4%, you're paying about 7.75% for the mortgage interest that you owe to the bank. This is, I believe, your biggest debt. And every one of us out there, we go on like 10, 20, 30 years of debt simply to buy the house or the shelter over our heads. And that mortgage payment, you cannot run away. Right now, if you're servicing a mortgage at around 8%, it's painful. And very soon, it'll go to 10%, 12%, and so on. That's why the interest rate has a dramatic impact on your finances. That's the second I I'm talking about right now. And then we go to the third I. Well, in the midst of all this, we have an invasion of Russia into Ukraine. How terrible can that be? And, Russian anger as United Nations call for reparations over invasion of Ukraine. Now the United Nations is telling Russia to pay up for all this suffering, all this destroyed land and properties and everything. Ask them to pay up. They call it the war bill. It's all about money. And do you think the Russians will pay? And again, that creates a lot of uncertainty and volatility in the market. The fourth I, and I call it the isolation of China. And this is very serious. In fact, this news just came out recently because China practices a zero COVID-19 policy. And right now, domestically, they are going crazy. Violent protests in Guangzhou put curbs under strain. And you are seeing it real time, but most of you are not, you're not living in China, or maybe you have friends in China. It's very serious because this is a populous nation. I mean, at 1.4 billion people, they can literally move the entire earth. And right now, they are going nuts. They've been locked down too long, and it's kind of hurting every economy out there in the world, right? We go on to the fourth. Let's go to the fifth. The next I is the inversion of the U curve. And at this point in time, you all start to scratch, oh my teacher, oh my gosh, teacher, you are talking very high level, I cannot catch up. This is the problem. If at this point in time you do not know what the heck I'm talking about, you are in trouble. I just tell it as it is because I put on the heart of a teacher. It means you're not aware. And the worst is, if you are not aware, there's a word to describe what you're going through. It's called a frog in a pot of water that starts to boil. And many people are like this. They are not aware. They say, I don't want to spend time, I don't need to know, I don't need to put in the effort. I'm not interested in money, I'm not interested in wealth. By the time the water starts to boil, they are boiled to death. And I want to encourage you, what I'm sharing with you are really important key events that will have an impact on your career, on your business, most importantly on your finances. Not to scare you, but to empower you, you need to know such things. So let's come back to inversion of the U curve. Why is it so important to us? Because whenever the U curve inverts, the 10-year minus the 2-year, there's a negative number, it precedes a recession that's coming up within the next 18 to 24 months. And you need to know about this. The 6I is really big for those involved in the cryptocurrency market, kind of an implosion of the FTX.com. And I kind of heard from my friend, there's about 50,000 Singaporeans in this country affected. Globally, 1 million accounts. The money just gone. Just gone. Because there was fraud. And this crazy guy took away all the customers' money. And we are living really in a treacherous world. And look at the headline. There are still many more bankruptcies to come. In this article, they are just talking about companies, who are invested in the cryptos facing bankruptcies. But let me tell you, I know firsthand of individuals who are facing bankruptcies because they borrowed money to invest into cryptos. Now, that is fundamentally wrong. And that's the reason why I got to go out there and preach the message of wealth trilogy. You need to stand on very strong foundation to get the wealth right. And I hope you guys will help me spread the word. Share with your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, your relatives, your loved ones, what I'm sharing with you today. Don't just keep it to yourself. The more people who know about such issues, the better it is for you to defend and prepare for it. The next alphabet I call it ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. This news just came out. A few hours ago, North Korea fires suspected ICBM. Now, what's the big deal about ICBM missile? Let me tell you what's the big deal. From North Korea, this missile can land in New York today. Scary? And imagine they put a nuclear head on top of this missile, and that's it. They can start a nuclear war with this ICBM missile. That is big deal. And that's the reason why you need to know about it. Now, the moment you know about it, and say, holy moly, are there any more eyes out there? Yes. There's one more eye, which kind of really, really important to play out. And here we go. And the last I is, are you still in love? And this article is really, really appropriate. Came out in the year 2008, many years ago. But I kind of like the idea, the headline. And the headline goes this way. Partners in love, partners in money. All right? And I want to read out to you. Money remains the number one thing couples argue about, but it doesn't have to be that way. And And I want to tell you why it doesn't have to be that way. Because what I'm sharing with you about wealth is also another concept called alignment. Between you and your spouse, whether today you're a wife watching or you're the husband watching, you and your spouse must agree on the foundation of wealth. Or else you're going to quarrel over money, and that's really sickening. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all, this fight. But think about what money can help your generation. And I want to finish this up by kind of summing up the 8 I's that I just gone through with you. Do you look at all these 8 items as a crisis or as an opportunity? This is going to be the key determinant whether you're going to become wealthy or not. And your journey starts here right now. That's why it is so important. So my friend, if we kind of take a look back at these 2 words, 危机, crisis or opportunity, you begin to understand that, oh my gosh, if I, number 1, don't even know what the heck teacher is talking about, I'm in trouble. I just tell you as it is, you are in trouble, seriously trouble. Because he'll hit you really, really fast. So number 1, you got to be aware. And I play the role of a teacher, go out there, spread the message. These things are real. And once you're aware, number 2, then and only then, you have the urgency. Now some of you, if at this point in time you still tell me, oh, I got no urgency, I want to take my own sweet time, I'm not interested in money, I'm not interested in wealth, thank you, this video is not suitable for you. I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to tell you what's happening on the ground, the reality of life. So you feel the urgency, then and only then, number 3, you take action. Say, I want to take charge of my finances. Then that's where I can come in to help you. So here we go. I want to share with you about a secret trading system. I call it insider trading. And insider trading has been my life pursuit. I in fact call it the Holy Grail that can help ordinary men become extraordinary. And it's also birthed out of the idea that we can stand on the shoulders of giants so that we can look further. And if we can look further, we know what's to come, we can prepare ourselves, we can enjoy the journey of accumulating wealth. And here we go. There are 3 parts of the trading system. Number 1, we must learn. Learning is so important about the strategies deployed by the richest people on earth. How many of you today would really love to hang out with those at the 1% of the pyramid? 1%. Don't hang out with, I don't say it in a condescending way. I don't say it in a disrespectful way. I say it with the concern of the heart of a teacher. Because I went through this journey myself. It is very important that you hang out with the best or you die like the rest. And when I say hang out with the best, what do I mean by that? Back then, before I became a millionaire, I'm hanging out with millionaires every single day. Literally hang out with them. I read all the books of the millionaires, of the billionaires. I treat them as my personal friends. They bomb my mind every single day. That's the journey. You got to learn the exact strategy deployed by the rich, not from the John Doe next door, or the Tom, Dick, and Harry next block, but from the best. And be very selective. Oftentimes I've seen people who are not selective with their friends. Guess what? Who you're going to become 5-10 years from now, it depends on who are your 5 closest friends today. This law has been proven time and time again. The 5 persons that are closest they hang out with today will determine who you become 5, 10, 20 years later from today onwards. So second part, once you learn the strategy of the rich, Then the second part is, how do you trade or invest based on AI data? And I want to use the word AI because the work that we do involves artificial intelligence. There's so much data out there, and we kind of deploy so many tech stacks just to solve this problem. What is the problem that we are solving? You see, data means information, and information means asymmetry. Some have information, some do not have. So what created this asymmetry is there's a gap of knowledge. So do you look at my hands, do you see that those who always possess information, they always make money? While the guy who received the information last will always be suckers of the market. This is the law, the Darwinian law of nature. And that's why we need to equip you with really first-hand AI data, and then you trade on the information. The third part that you've seen just now in so many of the testimonial video, the students were sharing with you about sharing in a community and getting yourself into not just any community, but a winning community that kind of encourage you, go through the ups and downs with you, and then spurring each other, because we really have a high bar in the world today. We are really known for achieving 5 to 100% profit in one day per trade. It is a very high bar, let me tell you. And many people who are not acquainted with us, who do not understand the context, how we started, why we are pursuing this holy grail, they'll come out and say their other side of the story. Let them be. You pursue this journey with us. Because if you can kind of compound each trade like 5 to 100% profit in one day, you will accelerate the growth and accelerate your journey upwards to the top of the pyramid. So I want to show you right now, when we combine learn, trade, and share, how it's going to be a formidable formula for you. Are you ready? So at this point in time, you may say, yes, teacher, I'm ready. Or at this point in time, you say, teacher, this is not my cup of tea. It's perfectly fine. But throughout my sharing, if you say that, teacher, what you share, I'm really a noob. I got no idea what you're talking about. I feel that I'm so far behind, and I kind of like very, very scared of the fact that you got so many academic credentials and you come from good school like Harvard Business School. I'm not there yet. It's fine. What I'm trying to share with you is that you do not have to go through all the journey I went through so that you can replicate me. I invested millions of dollars into my own education. In this journey of make million, give million, lose million, and then make million again. I've gone through many ups and downs. And my message for you is, you don't have to repeat it. You are taking 100% of everything I know today so that you can shortcut the journey. That is the good news I'm sharing with you right now. So if you go back to the note, I want you to know, among all the, I've taught like over 50,000 students worldwide. And one of the most interesting data point for us is this. I discovered that, and we started by asking very good question, right? Among all the 50,000 students, who are the ones making money? Let me tell you the answer right now. The ones that are making money are those who really started off as a noob. They got no idea what's going on. And the best news is, if I'm your first teacher, your very first teacher in investing and in trading, let me tell you right now, you will make money. Because you follow exactly what I'm going to teach you. You will not break my rules. You will not change my rules. You do it exactly as it is. You will make money. So I hope I've addressed those of you who feel that you're a noob and you feel that you're not equipped. But let me tell you, you are the one that's going to make money. And some of you at this point in time also kind of start to feel very nervous, and your heart start to go this way, boop, 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 boop. And you start to tremble, and you have your hair stand moment. I say, teacher, when I hear you speak, I feel very nervous. And this is like very common feedback to me, because why? Certain things that I said resonated with you. Certain words I use kind of give you that sparkle that you needed, and that nudge or the push that you've been waiting for. Why? Because this is my personal journey. I started with nothing. And in fact, I don't even have the chance to see my own grandfather. Let me just share with you very briefly about my Chiang genealogy. My grandfather, he passed away when my father was 9 years old. And before he passed away, he did one very important thing. As I was going through with my own father, and he said, Pa, how come I don't get to meet Ah Kong? See, because when I was 9 years old, he passed away. And I said, Pa, can you tell me all the stories about our grandfather, great-grandfather, and our ancestors, where they came from? What were they doing back then? I was very curious. In a nutshell, basically my Chiang family genealogy story goes this way. In the past, my ancestors were from China. We were very, very rich. According to my father, we're like the family of scholars, merchants. We are very, very rich. Until the Cultural Revolution came, destroyed everybody. Everybody go back to zero. We lost everything, right? And back then, because we lost everything, my grandfather made a very important decision. Quickly, with whatever money he has left, sent his wife and his son to Singapore. And that son is my father. So by the time he was 9 years old, my grandfather passed away, lost everything. My grandmother was very, very poor. She worked as a maid in a British family. And my poor little father, what did he do right? He did one thing right. He worked very hard as a student. So throughout his life, he won many bursary awards where the government paid for his education. And he became the first university graduate among his brothers and sisters. And that was his contribution. So here I am, I'm the son. And I look at my father's story, I say, hey, grandfather did something right by sending you to Singapore, get out of the misery in China. And my father did something right, studied really hard to become a university graduate, and my family started off like a middle-class family. And I got to do something right as well. That's my story. So if your heart is like boom, 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 because I went through this journey, I just tell it to you as it is, as your teacher, so that you know this is something worthwhile for you to pursue. And that's the reason why, after more than 2.5 years of lockdown, I was really, really excited. We did a first live event in Singapore. And no other better place than to do it at the Capital Tower, home of our Sovereign Wealth Fund, Temasek, GIC. They're right there. And we have a good turnout, and this event helped me to reconnect with all my students. Finally, we got to high-five, shake hands, and greet each other. Really, really excited about this event. But the event that's coming up next that you can take part together with me is called Spiking Wisdom, the Greatest Stock Investors Program. This is the next upcoming class I'll be teaching on the 29th and the 30th of November. So very quickly write down the dates, 29th and 30th of November, which is on a Tuesday and Wednesday. 7 p.m. to 12 midnight. Each day I'll be teaching you for 5 hours, exactly in the same pace as how I'm teaching you today. No different, all right? Because when I teach, it's not scripted. Everything is just flowing out from my heart, and I want to give you the best of my knowledge. So it will be a Zoom class, and we have students from different parts of the world taking part in the Zoom class as well. So right now I'm going to go through with you what exactly would you learn in the 2 days program. It is exactly the foundation of our wealth trilogy. We're going to study all the great investors out there, proven time and time again, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of them investing, making so much money for themselves. We got to learn from them. Here we go. First, this course, right up here, I want to tell it to you as it is. This is a Wisdom of the Greatest Investors, 2 days stocks trading mastery course. Retail price is $999. I'll also be giving you the stocks AI data. Remember, I shared with you, you need to have very, very good data, proprietary data. You're going to enjoy it for 3 days. Retail price $300. I'm going to teach you how to do a daily bread, where every single day you have a chance to make 5 to 100% profit return in 1 day. That's your daily bread. I'm going to also teach you how to make money every month, called the Resurrection Best FDA Announcement, using stocks AI data. And those of you who want to trade once every 3 months or once every quarter, I present to you triangulation, top 100 insiders market seasonality data. As you can see, all this is a combination of strategy, where you learn from the best. It's also a combination of the data, where you trade on the best data so that you are cutting edge. That's what it is about. Next, I'll also be giving you the Race to 100 Screener Premium Data for 30 days worth $299. Now, what is Race to 100? How many of you are aware of the fact that they are snipers on Wall Street? And every time they invest into any stock, we did a data check on them, holy moly, within 1 year, the stock price will go up to 100% or more. This is called the Race to 100. You need to know exactly who are the snipers on Wall Street. Because the next time they're going to invest, you're going to go in together with them to hit this 100% in less than 1 year. And once you understand this concept, then and only then, you realize that, holy moly, what teachers shared at the Spiking Alpha conference on 4th of November is to prepare me for the next 3 months all the way to 2024. How exactly am I going to walk through this journey with everyone else in the path to freedom? I'll also be giving you another bonus. All of our e-learning courses, you have 30 days access to them, and the retail price for it is $999. Now, I'm putting a cost or a price tag next to each of these so that you know that, hey, there's a lot of hard work behind it. We have a full team of engineers, data scientists working on the data, and all in, when we tabulate and audit trail, it's worth $3,599. Right? There's a lot of work behind it, painstaking work. But today, you're going to enjoy it for only $99. That's your investment. You will learn from me over the 2 days. You have access to everything I shared with you just now, and this is a limited time offer. So I'm going to show you right now, right here, today only. If you say, teacher, yes, I want to embark on this journey, I want you to know we are taking off a substantial parts of the full pricing so that we make it easier for you to jumpstart this journey with us. And this journey starts right now. You know, I'm going to make this offer for those of you who are interested. It's going to be valid only for the next 15 minutes. You can take out your mobile phone, scan the QR code, or you can simply visit this link on your website, spiking.com/wisdom. All right? And at this point in time, some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, teacher, you know, I really want to come to your program, but guess what? On those 2 days, I'm not free. Perfectly fine. You can also sign up, because anyone who sign up for the program, you have access to the recorded videos after the live events were completed. So you will not lose in any way. So go ahead, From this point onwards, for the next 15 minutes, my clock starts counting, all right? And once it's over, I want to only work with very decisive, very committed students who are open to learning. But you kind of say, teacher, I'm not interested in money, then we will miss you. Thank you very much. We will miss you. That's all I'm going to tell you. But you say, hey, teacher, I need you to push me. Then we are the right partners in this journey together. I also want to make it really, really painless for you. What do I mean by that? I'm going to give you a 100% money guarantee so that you're totally fearless. And I'm going to read out to you what I meant by that, all right? Look over here. I meant everything I say right here, and I'm going to read out to you. I want to make sure the decision to join me on the next 2 incredible days of learning is the most valuable experience for you and your 3 generations. Really, I want to influence not just you. I want to have an impact on your children and your grandchildren. That is start off on the foundation of wealth. And every generation, from the boomers, Gen X, to the millennials, to the Gen Z, they will have an instrument of choice that will create and build the first cohort of millionaires. That's what I'm preparing you for. I also know firsthand that there's a whole bunch of shady trading courses out there that promise the world and fail miserably. Let me tell you why they fail miserably. Number 1, when they teach you the strategy, it is not a strategy that is of high bar, high expectation. Now, you no longer deserve a low expectation because inflation is catching up on you. You know that. That's why you got to set a higher bar and a shorter time frame. Number 2, they failed because they don't have proprietary data. I'm talking about very precise data of the richest men on planet Earth where they are investing their money right now. I'm not talking about very common data like what market cap. Hello. So what if you know the market cap? You need to know who put in $1 billion today in a single stock. That's the data that you need. Which is why if at any point in time during day 1 that you feel this course isn't for you, it's not right for you, even if you don't like my haircut. You know, I got many comments about my haircut. You know, over time, I don't know how come my hair become like that, also comb backwards. And, you know, as the men age, they adopt different hairstyles. So even if you don't like my haircut, doesn't matter. Just let me know and I'll gladly refund everything you paid, 0 questions asked. So I take away every single fear that you have just to get started, because I really hope to see you as my student and start this journey with me. And I call it spiking wisdom. At the same time, you know, I'll kind of tease you, you know, in this book that I'm working on so hard, that will be launching next year, some of the data that's found in the book, I'll share with you during the 2 days as well, but not everything, all right? I got to keep the majority of the contents for the book launch next year, but I can tell you it's very powerful, and most importantly, it is timeless. And right over here, at this moment in time, perhaps number 1, you have questions for me and say, hey teacher, I have fear of losing money. And I don't blame you, many of you out there probably have lost money in the past. But take it as encouragement for me. I make millions, I gave millions, I've also lost millions, but I also make millions again. So how do we address a question like this? I want to show you those who make millions through the contribution of me as a teacher. This student made about $1.134 million pure profit. P&L means profit and loss. That is his pure profit. And then another student here made about $116,000 profit. But what is really important to me always is that whenever the students make profits, I kind of congratulate this student and say, congratulations to your $1 million profits. And he replied, I'm indebted to you as always. That's all I want to hear from you. That you have a sense of gratitude. You come back to me and say, teacher, thank you because you pushed me so hard. I made money and today I'm a millionaire. And that's all I ask from you. The profits is for yours to keep. And I just want to work on this journey for the rest of my life, very passionate, passing on the knowledge and wisdom to you. Number 2, you're fearful of making bad decisions. I don't blame you again. Perhaps many a times you made so many bad decisions in your past until you kind of go numb. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You made so many bad decisions. Listen carefully. So do I. So do everyone else. Because life is full of mysteries. But how you react to those bad decisions is going to transform you. This is the key part. How do you react to the ups and downs of your life? That's my teaching. I'm encouraging you. Don't give up. Now, my answer to this question about bad decisions is kind of a bit unique because, I want to show you, these are the bunch of fanatics that kind of hang out with us. These are all our students, all right? And very, very passionate. I meet all of my students once every 2 weeks. And we started this since early part of this year when the market was very volatile. I say, hey, I got to step up as a teacher. I need to engage with all my students, make sure they are fine, make sure none of them is suicidal, and every one of them, they have to look at me in their eyes. And just to double check, okay, you guys okay? We're going to go through this together. And that's the reason why the best decision you're going to make is to join a winning community. Number 3, you're fearful of scam. You say, oh my gosh, teacher, there's so much scam going on out there. And I don't blame you. I meant that when the crypto market kind of collapsed, they have broken the trust, right? How do we address the issue of scam? I want to show you this picture here. It may not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to me, all right? And to my company and to everyone here working so hard at spiking. We are featured in all the major medias of the world. I mean, some of you may not even believe media anymore. It's okay. But of all the logos here, what is most important to us is this. We are supported by the National Research Foundation under Singapore's Prime Minister's office. And that's something that, with high regard. And when we first started, it was not easy. We were funded by taxpayers' money. You see, they put us through a panel of 3 experts. The government appoint them and kind of a check on our business model, our technology, our management team, check on everything that they want to check, and making sure that we show traction. And then of it all, we kind of got it, and we have never take this for granted. We are doing a very important work, and let me tell you the work that we are doing. The work is called information asymmetry. How come the rich keep making money and the poor keep losing money? Because there's a gap in information flow, there's a gap in terms of knowledge and wisdom. And my challenge is, how can we close this gap so that we are on par? That every decision that we are making today, we are making together with the likes of Warren Buffett, the likes of Carl Icahn, Bill Ammon, James Simmons, the very best on Wall Street, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, the very best of the billionaires and the millionaires, we are making the decision together with them. That step itself takes away a lot of risk. That step itself takes away a lot of scam. But I don't deny it. Even Temasek was scammed by FTX.com. And this will be like a history forever. We tell our children and our grandchildren, you see, even our sovereign wealth fund got scammed. But Temasek could afford it. They were telling everybody it's like less than 0.01% of their portfolio. They can afford to lose the money. But not you. So if you can't afford to lose this money, then we raise an even higher bar. We say, we got to be updated. Not look at one guy, we look at every one of them who's a millionaire, billionaire, every single one of them collectively. Then that gives us a higher odds of getting scammed. I want to address it as it is so that anything that's troubling you right now, we don't leave the stone unturned, all right? Next question that you might have for me is, teacher, I have fear of difficulties. Looks like what you say is like damn complicated. No, somehow you like from Harvard with a PhD, like holy moly, it's so overwhelming. Hang on in there. Again, do you see it as a crisis of opportunity? Because I'm going to give you the good news. Let me show you who are my teachers. The guy, and I give credit to him all the time, who pushed me really hard and got me to write down my personal goal of becoming a millionaire by the age of 30 years old, is this man right here. His name is called Tony Robbins. This is the guy. I call him my teacher. And back then, because of him, my whole mind was transformed. I mean, I was totally fearless. Nothing holding me back. I say, let's do it! And I did it. I walked on fire twice just to convince myself I can do it. And, you know, this picture was taken like many, many years later after I became a millionaire. It was taken in 2019. He came back to Singapore and I requested to meet him, and I was granted an audience. They call it granted an audience to meet Tony because everybody wanted to meet him, but he refused. But they granted me an audience to meet Tony because I told Tony, I'm your freaking walking testimony here in Singapore. Coming from a middle class, I became a millionaire by 30 years old, and I'm your walking testimony. He came out, meet up with me, and took this picture. At the same time, remember I shared with you, you must hang out with the best or you die like the rest. This guy is the godfather, or we call him the crypto daddy. He's helping the US government today to launch the US digital dollar. And I was granted a 1 hour private time with him at Davos at the World Economic Forum, 2020. And back then, they already started the work to launch the digital dollar, getting banks ready and all that. And this guy is in the news the past 1 week. The guy that triggered the downfall of FTX.com, and that's CZ from Binance, the largest crypto exchange on planet Earth that's trying to hold everybody together right now. I met him 3 times in person, and he's very consistent. Looks like he's legit, I hope. But every single time I read his tweets, he's teaching something important, very positive. And I like that kind of approach. Be very positive. Don't give up. This guy is Jim Rogers. And he spoke to me like this. Clement, I know about your work in the US stock market, but you're missing something really, really big out there. I say, hey, Jim, tell me what's the thing I'm missing? He said, you got to look at China. China is the real big deal, not US. And because of him, I started studying the Chinese market. I started getting involved, reading Chinese, listening in Chinese, speaking in Chinese. And that gave me a balanced mind as an investor. So any one of my students will tell you that teacher will always talk about China. Teacher will always tell you about Emperor C. Because that thing is coming. And if you kind of take China out of the equation, you're going to miss a big part of the wealth accumulation process. And it's happening. All right, so I'm sharing with you all this picture, not to impress you, but to impress upon you the fact that I hang out with the best. And you're going to get all this learning from me by coming to my class. Just one step. Number 5, teacher, is there a guaranteed return? Right? You know, many people like to always ask guarantees in life. But you know, let me tell it to you as it is. You know that, first of all, that's a very foolish question to begin with. I just tell you as it is. And I want to use my family as an example. You know, we have high hopes for our eldest son, And is there such thing as a guaranteed life? No. He became a rugby captain. When he was in primary school, he loved rugby. And in one of the games, the opposing team went after him because he was the captain of the team and kind of popped his knee. And me, the father, have to run into the middle of the field and carry him out. That's like so painful, and send him to the hospital and all that. So he popped his left knee. And after that, we say, okay, son, maybe you should change your sport. Rugby may be too violent for you. And then he went to fencing. And he did very well. He loved fencing. It's a very genius sport. And he became a national champion. And I tell you as it is, he's the Singapore champion for fencing. And as he was fencing, I told you, life has its mysteries. Life is full of mysteries. Rugby popped his left knee, and when he was fencing, he popped his right knee. Is that a guarantee? No. This morning I sent him to hospital to operate on his right knee because it popped. So he got two knees that pop. And he's not even entered into adulthood. As a young boy, he has to go through so many surprises. Now, how do you explain to your children that life is full of surprises? And you dare to ask me, you want a guaranteed return? Hello? So let's not be foolish. There will always be surprises, ups and downs. It's how we respond to those surprises that's going to make us excellent. All right? I'm saying all this not because I'm scolding you, even though I raised my voice. I'm saying all this to wake you up. Life has no guarantee. But the true guarantee is how we respond to the changes. And I want to show you this, We created a blueprint. I think this gives us the highest chances of success, designed after 22 years of me slogging out in the market. And this blueprint is based on insider trading. It's based on standing on the shoulders of giants. It's not like some hunky-dory, no. You will understand in the 2 days, wow, everything is based on someone put in 1 billion, 100 million, 5 billion. Not some Tom, Dick and Harry who put in $1,000 and convince you to buy the same stock. No. This is our trading blueprint. And we kind of keep, elevating and operationalizing the data so that right now we are on version 2.0 already. Next question that you might have is, teacher, I lack of money. Now, by the way, today I'm not asking for your arms and your legs. I'm asking you to take the first step of $99, and even then I give you 100% risk-free money-back guarantee. But when you ask a question about lack of money, it's very common. The common man's response is, hey, 没有钱, bo lui, no money. Right? Tada, do it. He said no money. It's very common among the common man. And I want to address it as it is. It is not the lack of money. It is the lack of ambition. Today, you lack the ambition of beginning your own tradition. Because you know that when you say that you want to begin your own tradition, it's not smooth sailing, it's hard work. I'm going to tell it as it is to you. It is hard work for me when I became a millionaire. It is hard work. And how do you teach ambition? Let me tell you, this is the most difficult thing to teach. Look at all the parents around us here watching this Zoom right now, and all the YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. Ask yourself, can you teach ambition to your child? Hey son, next time you become the Prime Minister of Singapore. Hey son, you become the astronaut of NASA. Hey son, you become the pilot of the Air Force. Hey son, you become the top lawyer, top doctor. You can tell all your life. Your children just say no, and that's it. That's what I meant by how difficult it is to teach ambition. Until the guys sparkle and say, I want to do it. Not because my parents want me to do it. My father has never taught me to become a millionaire because he's not a millionaire. My father has never taught me to be rich. In fact, he loves to spend money. Then how did I end up like that? Because I studied the best. I learned from the wealthiest guy on earth. That gave me a set of core values. And over time, I understand life has its up and down. And the most powerful forward I've given you today is you pray. You pray until you see your miracles come true. You pray until you tide through the dangerous time. You pray until you recover completely. Every step of the way, pray. Regardless of your religion, you pray. Because when you pray, you believe. And when you believe, you draw closer to your ambition. That's, I believe, is what you need. Number 7, teacher, trading is risky. Don't talk about trading. Anything in life is risky, right? I want to show you this, this really powerful picture. And I use the word powerful because, you know, if I zoom in, you see something really interesting, and that is, back then I had mustache, beard and mustache. Because I made a promise to my spiking team. I will not shave and cut my beard until we have a product breakthrough. And finally, we had a major product breakthrough. We got acknowledged at the Singapore Infocom Technology Federation. Out of 400 startups that were competing back then in 2016, we got the gold medal. Let me tell you how grateful we were to receive the gold medal. Just on the panel of judges alone, there's like about 10 of them. I mean, they are the who's who in the technology sector. They scrutinized 400 startups, and finally they gave Spiking the gold medal. And I was so caught by surprise, I didn't even wear properly. I wear jeans, a Spiking t-shirt, unshaven. I just went on stage because they just announced on that night. They never tell you beforehand. And after I went on stage to pick up the award, I returned back to my team. I say, wow, they have finally acknowledged the problem we are trying to solve. What was the problem? Information asymmetry, so that our products can help you to become wealthy. That's it. So there's no turning back for us. We've been working very hard on innovating the product. Every month, every quarter, there's an upgrade on our system. Every time you meet up with me, yours truly, your teacher, you learn something new from me, because we never stop learning and working hard. That means a lot for me. I'm not too sure a lot for you. But perhaps the next question you have for me is, teacher, how to start? By the way, you only left about 5 minutes before the offer ends. This is your final chance. Go ahead, take out your phone, scan this QR code. Go ahead, visit the website link, spiking.com/wisdom. Once the offer is over, it's over. Because I really don't like to work with people who are indecisive and at this point in time still telling me they don't want to become rich. I say, I will miss you, that's all. All right. And if you think, number 9, market is unpredictable. And I want to show you this. This is like coming from our very own data. And I bet you never seen a data like this, kind of like crazy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We're able to see very precisely Every single day, there are traders who are buying and selling the same stock. Let's say this stock is called SPGI, take for example, right? And one of the data point we're looking at is called universe net purchase. We take into account every single insider that are buying and they're selling, and we take a net. And if this stock has a net purchase of 34.5 billion, by the way, it's 34.5 billion, not $34, not even 34 million, it's 34.5 billion. That means every insider out there from sovereign wealth fund, millionaire, billionaire, majority of them believe this guy, the price is going to go up. $34.5 billion. That's what I'm talking about. You need good data, proprietary data. You combine that by learning our strategy, you trade on the data, and you share with our winning community. Ladies and gentlemen, I come to the last question. Perhaps there's a big surprise for you. And I want you to know there's really a big surprise for you in the upcoming class in November, all right? And what is this big surprise? I'll just show you this chart and I won't tell you anything else. You can try to decipher all the secret messages in this particular chart, but this is the thesis that we are working on, very powerful thesis that we are preparing you all the way to 2024. Very important, all right? And once we get this right, you are like riding on this wave, holy moly. And in fact, everything that we do is to aim how to make 5 to 100% profit return in just one day. So any questions left from the audience? I'm sure at this point in time, you have many thoughts going through your mind. But let me tell you, this is the number one feedback among all the students who completed my classes. They say, teacher, we love the part where you have a free flow of the Q&A. All right? Because every single question you addressed it, and you never neglect any questions asked. But all I ask from you right now is to take a step of faith. I know you have many questions, but I can tell you, all of your questions will be addressed at the 2-day class. Right now, I just give you and ask from you a step of faith. Join me in the upcoming 2 days class. In fact, there's absolutely no risk on your part because I give you 100% money back guarantee. But I'm more concerned whether you have that sparkle of passion to begin your own tradition. That counts to me. I want to thank you all for joining me here tonight. You know, we really spent quite a significant amount of time together, and I want to just take it really slow to teach you. I hope you have learned something from me right here. Please feel free to go and share at the comment section of which platform that you're watching us tonight. Please share this video with your friends as well so that they can join you and become part of the winning community as we go and pursue this path of financial freedom. Thank you very much for your support, and may God bless you. With this, I wish you goodbye. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day ahead. Holy moly. And I sum it off right here. Thank you, everybody. I'm so excited, and have a great day. I shall see you in the class, upcoming class, and here we go. Goodbye, everybody.
Benefiting from the whole spiking community is that you are in the know. From a finance background, I already have a bit of knowledge, but with Dr. Clement's input, it just makes everything stronger and more accurate. It helps a lot as well in my work as well.
I hope you have gained some insights from this video. Whatever experience you have in trading, whether you're a beginner or experienced one, don't give up on profiting from the stock market. It is one of the best money-making platforms that you can leverage to boost your earnings as long as you are trading with the right approach. You can submit your application by clicking anywhere around this video to get connected with Spiking today while slots